honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at you with another video.
What is up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my special guest. He played college football at the University of Howard, man. Let's welcome Ian Willer, man. How you doing, bro?
How you doing? Nice to meet everyone. A pleasure to have me on the show with you.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. Tell me about yourself, man.
Well, yeah, I guess. Born in New Orleans, raised in Houston. I'm an older brother. Went to St. Thomas High in Houston all 4 years. Played football, ran track, did wrestling for a little bit. Then went out to DC, went out to Howard, walked on the team, and eventually earned a scholarship, earned a couple all-conference nods, and now we're here.
Oh, that's good. So what got you into football, man?
Well, in Texas, football is king. So just watching, like I said, my family's from New Orleans, so we would watch the Saints play on Sunday. It would just be us watching them play, and it's like, oh, I want to do that. These guys, this looks like fun. And, the rest is history.
Well, speaking of that, who do you model your game after?
Adrian Peterson for sure.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, just like you say, like he can move. He's a real athlete, real violent runner. If not a one-cut back, like he's an all-around back, obviously, but like I think his strengths lie in being able to get past the line, make that one cut, and take off. So him, and then a lot of the backs now are more like receiver oriented. So there's obviously things I can look at from like running backs in front of me right now that are really talented, but definitely Adrian Peterson. That's the biggest one.
Definitely. How about Alvin Kamara, man? He's another good all-around back too.
Love Alvin Kamara. I just to say I would model my game after him, I feel like would be a lie. Just I can really appreciate the way he runs and knows that like I don't necessarily run like that. I think he has some of the best body control out of like all the running backs, and just being able to know what it takes to get tackled and what it takes to break a tackle. He's really good, and just being in that space without making it look hard, honestly.
Oh, okay. So was there like any other college that recruited you? So what made you decide to go to Howard?
I was really heavily recruited by some local D3s in Texas. So I took some visits, went out, and I was like, it's an opportunity to play college football. But when I was speaking to the coaches, they said, like, I asked them plainly, like, do you think I'm good enough to play D1 ball? And he said yes. And I was like, well, I'm going to bet on myself. So Howard, I got into Howard on my own merits, and I had talked to some of the coaches there. So it was just an opportunity for me to showcase my talent on the next level. I took that chance.
Okay. Oh, shout out to my boy Grandizer. I guess he's putting the stats out there. But is there a position? Is there a position that you wanted to play as opposed to the position you are currently playing?
Since I've been in college, no. But when I was in high school, I was a safety for a while and playing strong safety, like being able to run around, hit people, tackle, play in the box, play up top. That's all. That's always been fun for me.
Oh, okay. So, what offensive scheme would fit your skill more?
Mm, I'm not like to say like an offensive scheme. I think I fit into most schemes just because I have a skill set where I'm fast, I can block, and I'm comfortable catching the ball out the backfield. So I think anything spread wise would be fine. West Coast would be fine.
Oh, okay. So,
But
so you're the kind of running back that can block and do everything. Okay.
yes, definitely. I'm not uncomfortable blocking. I'm not uncomfortable picking up blitzers or like leading into an alley on a block or anything like that. So it's something that I think just like shows my versatility in general. And that means like, I feel comfortable playing in pretty much any type of offense. I just need to know what you want me to do.
Yeah, you're that kind of quick learner then. Ooh, I like this question because this actually does have a lot to do with your opponent. So toughest defensive player you face or a rival player that you talk the most ish with to you, or did you see as a top rival?
I don't really talk trash. I'm just gonna be honest. I do a lot of the passive talking. Consistently though, consistent best defense I played against has been and it's kind of a rival. Morgan State. We don't really lose to them, but their defense is always the best part of their team. So especially like this past year, it was kind of a slugfest between the two of us, and they have some really talented defensive players. Some like really like good DBs and really good linebackers and D linemen. So Morgan State this year, I would say Northwestern's defense was pretty good. I don't think they were world beaters or anything like that. I think we showed how we could get up on any team when we played against them because it ended up being like that we lost by like 7 or 10 or something like that. It was something close towards the end, but yeah, those were the big teams that I think had the best defense this year.
Yeah, Northwestern had a really good defense because in the country they had one of the best talented players on defense. They weren't quite the winningest team, but they actually had the most talented defense by far. But so speaking of it, why should teams draft you, man?
Um, I'm not supposed to be saying My mom got mad at me the last time I said on a podcast. The reason why I think teams should draft me are because I'm versatile. Like we already talked about, I'm comfortable being able to run the ball, catch the ball out the backfield, inside, outside the tackles, block. I know how to tackle. I played special teams for all my college career. I can return kicks. I'm working on returning punts. And outside of that, I think I just have a pretty cerebral understanding of the game. And I like to learn. I like to develop. I like to put myself in a position to where I can become a better player. So, all that being said, it's just like I'm someone that I think is like needed to be a part of a winning football team.
Okay. That's good honesty. I mean, I would feel like when a team looks at you, they're looking for somebody who can step in and be a quality player, and it seems like you fit the bill. But pregame rituals. Like, how do you prepare for upcoming games?
Before games, like week leading into it, obviously watching film. Whether that's depending on the team, because sometimes teams coaches change stuff like that. But being able to look at what I did that day against scouts, then checking what the other team did, whether that's like tells by how they line up. Like if it's 4 down, they're going to go shade to the back or shade to the tight end or something like that. And then see how linebackers tell with blitzes or if the corner's playing off the receiver, where's the safety at, just things like that, just to be able to like give yourself a leg up during the game. Before the game, I listen to a lot of Lil Wayne. They actually
No way.
made they made a little post for all the seniors, and my entire thing was just Lil Wayne throughout the whole thing. So listen to a lot of Lil Wayne. I listen to a specific order of songs towards the back end. I pray in the locker room before we go out, and I call my mom before we go out every game just to like, are you good? I'm good. Okay, let's go win. It's like a 10-second conversation, but it gives me what I need to do.
Oh, okay. So that does kind of have more of a good traditional. So keep going. If it works, like they say. So,
Right.
ooh, that's a good little comparison. I mean, I guess watching some of your tape, you do kind of run a little bit like a Steven Jackson. All right,
I like that.
That dude's a physical back.
Yeah, he's huge though. He's like,
you're a smaller version, but you can play like him.
Yeah. No, definitely like being violent when it comes to ball. I think that's the only way you can really play running back. You can't be the nail. You have to go hit people.
Yeah. I can see that lighter version because I've watched a little bit of your game and I can see your physicality. You're not afraid of contact, so you seem like that kind of back that will get the job done. So outside of football, what does Ian like to do?
True. I made some croissants yesterday. Like I baked some croissants yesterday. Like reading. Last book I tried reading was this book by this Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius. He's like the last good emperor or something like that. It was kind of like a self-help book. I'm going to try it again. I couldn't read it because of just how it was written in Latin, obviously. So like the way the English sounded too old-timey. So I just have to force my way through that one. Watch a lot of anime. Just like I'm like every other 22-year-old. I watch TV. I listen to music. I like food. I like hanging out with my dog. So yeah.
Oh yeah, but what kind of food do you like?
Southern food. Like, you know, I'm not trying to like just talk about how much I'm from New Orleans, but like I just ate some jambalaya like 20 minutes ago. So
can't go wrong with that.
Exactly.
I mean, the gumbos are pretty much the best part of the quality.
Yeah, and it's my favorite food. It's my favorite food, but like
gumbo, right?
I can only eat like two people's gumbos. It's mine and my mama's. I can't really eat a lot of other people's.
Sometimes the homemades are the best.
Exactly.
I mean, so this is I don't think you're much of a trash talker, like you said. You're more of a let your patty do the talking.
Nah. Obviously there have been times where I've like said something to somebody, but like I rather just in like a scoreboard type of thing, or like you didn't do anything to me. I bounce right back up. I don't know why you're still talking to me.
Oh, so you're that kind of guy that just lets it talk, and then if they keep it going, you're going to be like, why are you still talking?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to let the players do the talking. You just keep ignoring it, and if they keep pushing on it, then you just have to give them that response they're asking for. Sometimes they want that receipt or that smoke or something.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, like when you look at your kind of style of play, you said you can catch the ball at the backfield, you can do pass blocking. I think there's plenty of teams that like those kind of running backs, but has there been any other teams that you met with or no?
I've had the chance to speak with like how many teams is it? Like 10 teams, like personally with scouts or with coaches or anything like that. I've been able to showcase in front of all 32. I went to the HBCU Combine in February, and I think I did pretty well at Pro Day. I did pretty well at Pro Day, and a lot of scouts told me I had a really good workout. So we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I think you. I think in that, because when you look at the experience, you were playing at the Legacy Bowl. So what was the experience like? Just playing on one of the best of the, you know, like best of the bowl, whatever they call it, the Legacy Bowl. It's one of those type of bowls where you showcase and you get more media platform attention from other teams. And how was that experience like?
It was really fun. You know, obviously it's a chance for me to play football. Like I don't know when's the last time you never know when's the last time you're gonna hang up your pads, right? So it was an opportunity for me to play with some teammates, play with some new guys that I haven't met before, meet some new faces, and it was a lot of fun. And then obviously the competition itself, that was probably the best part. And, you know, even though it's an all-star game type of situation, like being able to kind of see where you stack with these guys who are also getting looks it's like it makes you realize like how far along you've actually come in your career.
Yeah, and then you showcase it on one of those pro days. So you showcase that you ran pretty quick with your 40 times. So
Yeah,
you like that speed a little bit more at that position.
exactly.
I think he tested like a 4.35, right?
So yeah, that was the unofficial time. Still waiting.
Oh, unofficial. So that's the unofficial time. But I did check it out.
Yeah, that was the unofficial time. So I'm just still kind of waiting to see how the actual times came in. But I definitely was moving. We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, even with a 4.3 speed, that's good enough to prove other teams they want to take, because they like the speed part of the game a little bit. But
exactly.
it's got to always translate on the football field. But from watching your game, it does translate. Were you kind of more like a complimentary back, or was there where you guys were just running the ball with two different running backs?
I think it was just depending on the game. Like certain games, one back would get more carries. Other games, another back would get more carries. Another game, another back would get more carries. It was just because our running back room was so talented and I guess in a sense crowded. There'll be times where, yeah, we want this back to do this more. We want this back to do this more. And like, you guys are going to be like everyone, we all know we're all good. So it's just like an ego thing at that point. Just like, are we going to still be there locked into the game when this other back's in? And obviously we want to play. Everyone wants to play. But it's just like at that point, it's an ego thing because we just want to win.
Yeah. That like they want to go with the best player who's going to win. So if there's a day they're going to give you more touches, then that's a good opportunity to showcase it too. So sometimes it's a team game, so they're going to always go with the best hand sometimes. And if you're the high hand, they're going to give you the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. And speaking of NFL players, have any other NFL players reached out to you to help you with some advice or your talent?
I haven't had the chance to speak to any actual NFL players. Well, I'll take that back. I'm working out with Phil Penn. He stays out here, and he's like I met a couple guys through him. Working out with I think a DB for the Texans. His name's Chris. So I've talked to some people, but to say like anyone's reached out to me, I wouldn't say that's the case.
Nah, more like working out, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, is there like a nickname for you on the football field?
Call me Wheels.
Oh, Wheels, because you got them wheels, man. You run them wheels. Okay, so
call me Wheels. Got a couple nicknames from the football team, but Wheels is the big one.
So you said you did wrestling, right? So are you kind of into the pro wrestling stuff or not really?
No idea about the pro wrestling stuff.
You're just into the amateur stuff, right? Oh, just 1 year?
I did it 1 year because my track coach asked me to do it.
Well, it does kind of help you a little bit on your physicality a little bit when you do wrestling, because when you wrestle, you got to use your body and all a bunch of stuff, and it could translate pretty well, especially I think it benefits more on the offensive line guys because they can use it as a background.
Exactly. Like, no, it's a good skill. Like, it's a good thing. Like, being able to hand fight, being able to really control your body, being flexible in a lot of uncomfortable positions. It's a beneficial sport too, definitely.
So that's why you take beneficial for it, because when you wrestled, it helped you in a long ways.
Yeah, most definitely.
So what's one thing you can take away from doing wrestling? What does it get you prepared for in the next life?
For me, the biggest benefit I got from wrestling was getting more flexible. And that's for me personally. I would say in general, because like a lot of people on my team wrestled in high school, just a physicality thing. Just being able to be physical and having that functional strength. Whereas like our linebacker, Christian White, he wrestled, he was like an all-state wrestler or something like that. When he like got his hands on you, it was kind of like he could move you however he needed to get to his spot. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think just functional strength and being able to like learn a different way of physicality than just with pads on.
Yeah, it does, because functional strength can translate good on the football field if you use it the proper ways and all that stuff. And the mental mindset, because a wrestler, we go with no pads, we get a little more physical, and it becomes more it can get a little dirty sometimes if you get on that wrestling background. But yeah, let's see. Ian Willard, did you have a stat rival with your fellow RBs or receivers?
So what do we mean by a stat rival?
You know, like how some teammates would bet each other who's going to have a better statistics this season or something like that. Like one of those wagers, whatever they call it.
There have been a couple times where like I'm known to break long runs, so they'll be like, I think there was a game or two where they pass me up, and like I'll have the longest run for the season. It'll be like 50 yards, and then one of the other backs will pass me up, and it'll be like 62 because the blocking was clear. Like I'm not going to get into like why their run was long or anything like that. So that like we'll talk about that because they'll be like, I thought you were the fastest in the room. I thought you were the fastest in the room, and it's like everyone blocked for you. Your play was perfect. I made something shake out of nothing, and I ran out of field. You just lucked up, but no like rivalry in the sense of like friendly competition. Of course, that's just always how it's going to be.
Yeah, and sometimes it makes the best out of the teammates because sometimes you want to have that same goal and you want to just be better than the other teammate, but just in the friendly way.
Exactly.
Oh, I like this one because you get to choose whatever celebrity you can have a meal with, alive or dead. Who would it be?
Celebrity. Probably Lil Wayne.
Oh, Lil Wayne. See, that's a good choice because you listen to his music and he's from New Orleans.
Exactly. I listen to a lot of his music. We're from the same place. Just like, I think it'll be cool to talk. He'll be interesting. I don't know.
I mean, he knows the sports talk, and I mean, Skip wouldn't put him there for nothing. I mean, this guy knows stuff.
He knows a little bit about football, yeah.
I think outside the box, he's actually a good sports kind of analyst guy. He wasn't being too biased on some ways. I mean, yeah, he may be a little biased with the Packer part, but I think he was being more realistic on other stuff.
But that's every analyst too. Every analyst has their teams, whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know about this one, but we tend to do these little funny questions sometimes, but it's like the fight song, whatever they got going on, you know, like I guess he just says it, and a couple of these guys sometimes do it randomly just for fun. But I don't know, can you give us a good old Bison fight song cheer?
So, yeah, I'm not gonna act like I really know like the anthem or the Bison cheer or whatever. I know our cheer team does certain things like stomp and shake it. It's just something you got to look up. Like,
yeah,
if anyone has been to an AGBCU game. Like hearing neck, that's the song that I'm thinking about right now. That's the only song that can come to my head.
Okay, but what makes you stand up from the rest of the running backs in this draft class?
My ability to really affect two aspects of the game. That's offense and special teams.
Yeah, special teams. You're a blocker too, so
right. It's really just goes back to versatility in general.
Versatility, speed.
If I'm in that roster spot, like I can do a lot of different things
that they would ask you to do. Yes,
exactly.
Oh, which one was your best game? Like if you look back in time on your days at Howard or whatever school, hey, think of a game that stand out to you. Like, oh, this was my best game.
Robert Morris this past year.
Okay.
Because just like I think a big thing is I think I averaged like above 9 or 10 yards a carry, had a long touchdown. Receiving wise, I was in the like top 2 or 3 on the team. Receiving wise, like per like catch, return to kick, and it was just like all of it together like helped us win the game. It was just like I made plays at the right time to like first give us the momentum and then to seal the game at the end of it. So that definitely that game.
So that Robert Morris game gave you like that great tape. So you average about like you said, almost 10 yards a carry, but at least you had one of those big plays.
Exactly.
I think like you just said, you fit on a West Coast team or any other scheme, and you would be more of a. I think if you were a fit, I think teams like the Rams or the Niners will look at you that way because they look at guys who can do this type of blocking and this, and then do exactly the versatility like you would do. I can see it with the Texans, for example. They kind of run a scheme. Maybe you might be a good fit there, but maybe the Saints, who knows? I mean, there's other teams, but I'm just saying, hey, since you kind of just came into this world, when did you feel like that, hey, I can make it to the NFL one day?
I'll be honest, and like it's been like a difficult road, just like going from like not being heavily recruited to being a walk-on to earning a scholarship and having to split carries with the other backs. It's like it's difficult to just keep saying like, I'm good enough. And I think these past like 2 or 3 months where I'm getting validated with getting invited to an HBCU combine and getting invited to a bowl game and being one of the best players at the bowl game and getting to talk to scouts, I think it's just made the dream seem more real than it did before.
So I guess going to that Legacy Bowl might have changed your life a little bit more, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I got to perform in front of everybody and show that like I'm just as talented, if not more talented than everybody else.
Yeah, and why do you feel like small schools don't get enough attention, man?
It's all a matter of competition. Of course, they're going to go look at the bigger schools who compete against the best prospects and the best players. And it's like hard for you. There's a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams that play football. So like, because I go to a small school, but at least I go to a small D1 school. There's D2, D3s, and AIAs. Like it could be a lot more difficult for me if I'm being honest. But I say all that to say, like, it's really just a matter of searching. And I've been fortunate enough that I've gotten enough attention that I've been found, and at least I hope to receive an opportunity to play at the next level.
Yeah, that's what you can hope for. And, just because you play at a small school doesn't mean nothing. I mean, some players want to be starters, even if they have to go to a small school, then so be it.
Right.
I mean, when you look at your career, man, I mean, why you think that going to Howard is a good decision for other kids? Like, let's say for future college kids, why should they go to Howard? Let's say they get an offer to go down there.
Obviously, make the best decision for you, regardless of like your situation. Make the best decision for you. I would say within football, this is a team that has gone and won 2 conference championships in back-to-back years, has gone to a national championship this past year. And with prospects like myself and my teammates like Aneem, Brennan, Q, TJ, like a bunch of different DB, and then more prospects coming out this next class, you're getting the attention, you're getting the looks to actually be able to sustain your football career after school. And if we're just talking about the school, being in DC gives you a lot of opportunities. You get to like branch out, super diverse, no matter like how you want to look at it. Like people from the Caribbean, like different parts of the country, everyone wants to go there just because of like the history and what it means to have graduated from Howard. It's just like a national brand. So all that together it's a really good opportunity for you.
Oh yeah, you get to learn the history of the culture. You get to go to other countries to check out stuff like that. That's pretty unique. And then you spoke of one teammate. I think he's one of the biggest offensive linemen. Like Aneem, what's his name?
Thankwa. Yeah.
I gotta find a way to get this guy on, man. This guy's a big dude. I like them big guys, man. But yeah, dude, Howard's underrated. Like you just said, you just played one of them bowl games, like those little small bowl games. So you guys were competitive.
Exactly.
Yeah, complete package, man. That's what we're looking for. I think production or the combine stuff can be overrated, but I think if you could play on the football field, that's what you care about.
Exactly. That's all that really matters at the end of the day, playing ball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But speaking of it, man, I think we pretty much covered everything. So whatever the journey goes by, bro, I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully a team takes a chance on you. Hopefully a team signs you or drafts you, whatever journey or whatever opportunity it presents, man. I know you're going to capitalize it, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you having me on and giving me an opportunity to just talk about myself and football in general.
Oh yeah, anytime, dude. So yeah, dude, like whatever the opportunity presents itself, bro, it's all up to you, man. But whether you come into the Bay or any other team, it don't matter to me, bro. As long as you succeed your expectation and make it to the league, bro, that's all that matters.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, anytime. And thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.